This is an Ellis Mowers and More small engine vlog. Stay connected on Instagram and Facebook at Ellis Mowers and More. Comments or questions? Leave them below or email me, ellis@ellismowers.com. And as always, like and subscribe for more small engine content. On today's vlog, we are going to go and just do a day in the life video. I know a couple people asked about this, so we're gonna do it. And what we'll be doing is just a day in the life of me going around doing mower repair and things along those lines. Got a lot of traveling to do today, so we're going to get started this morning by going and doing a pickup on a John Deere L120 rider. And what it's going to be is the blades are slow, and they need to be, probably a belt needs to be replaced or something along those lines. These guys bought this mower for me, I guess 2 years ago now, and I've done some work on it for them, and it's only had to have small things done to it, like a fuel pump, and actually not even a fuel pump, but just a couple of small things. I think PTO switch wiring and a drive belt, so not really too much. They've had good service out of it. They probably put a little over 100 hours on it since they've had it as well. So I'm gonna go pick that up. We'll see what it's doing, and then we get to do the big sweep today. We've got about 9 or 10 stops, whether they're pickups, drop-offs, or repairs. So let's go ahead and get going with everything. Alright, so here's that L120, and I'll show you here before I get it off the trailer. So the belt's kind of loose on it, and this spring right here is actually broke, the tension spring. So I have one here. I can get him back going pretty quickly. I have an L130 down there that I haven't started fixing yet, that I can just swap the spring out on, and he'll be in business. We'll get him taken care of tomorrow, because I'm going to be rolling out doing other things. What I'm going to do while I'm out, load up some cardboard. My first stop is going to be picking up a weed eater that doesn't run right, and then my second stop is going to be dropping this machine off that I fixed the all-wheel drive self-propel on, before going and doing my next stops after that. Alright, so we're loaded up for the day. Like I said, I'm going to drop off this cardboard at the dump, because I amassed it because of all these product reviews that come in. If you want to see those product reviews, look at my Amazon storefront. Got quite a few videos up there. Got oil there we're going to drop off, a tire to replace a little bit later on today, and then got my bins here. These Go bins are great. Got everything from a mobile repair in here. I can swap it between cars. And then this Husqvarna mower that we're going to drop off, that's going to be second. We've got that Manus tiller back there that I'm dropping off as well. And first thing we're going to do is drop this cardboard off, pick up a Ryobi weed eater that needs a little bit of work done to it, and I'll probably rejoin y'all once we get to the point where we're going to drop this off. Alright guys, we're done with stop number 2. I've picked up the weed eater first stop, and then I've dropped off the push mower. We put it back there behind the beside the trailer for the guy, and so we're going to move on. The next one is going to be a Craftsman riding mower with some sort of blade issue. Alright, our next stop, the PYT 9000 Craftsman. This one's got the electric PTO setup, but it takes the same belt as the manual PTO setup for 754-0406OB. It's the original belt, which is in decent shape. It's just stretched out a little bit. We'll have to put a drive belt on this as well, probably for him when we service it next year, because it's making a little bit of a rattling noise, but it's still driving fine. But this, I think, has lost tension. He did mention that he did use it once, made a pass, and then he pulled it again and it didn't go. So the only other thing it could be besides this is that he lifted up off the seat, potentially, one of those two. But either way, I think this belt needs replaced, because even with it was pretty far back, close to this other pulley. And so all we got to do is pop it off. 3 points got the deck off. We're going to take these shields off, pull these pulleys off, and just swap it out real quick for them. Alright, new belt is on. We're going to slide it back under the mower, and this one's ready to roll. Alright, so we're going to head back or to the next stop now. We finished that belt, got paid for it. Hopefully that fixes his issue. What we're going to do now, I don't know how much I'll be able to film at the next location, but this one's the one that may take a little while. It is going to be, well, we got 2 weed eaters to pick up. We have a lawn tractor to look at. We've got a, what else do we have? A 0 turn to look at. He said it's an older 0 turn. And then there's a John's Red walk behind, which I've never seen one of those before. He said that the blades are slow to engage. So I'm thinking that that may have an issue. The blades, I don't know. I don't really know how those are set up, so that'll be interesting to see how that is. And then after that, there's a couple of small things with the drop-off, and we'll see what we end up getting into while we are out and about today. Here we are, the next stop. We got the Husqvarna. It looks like 3 of the 4 blade bolt or the mounting bolts are missing, and they kind of look like the threads got stripped out, so I'm working on that. They want me to get this to see if I can get it running again, a little wonder. The Poland Pro Weed Eater's coming with me. It needs a head. The John's Red is basically a Husqvarna. It's got the all-wheel drive setup on it, and it's running slow. And then this, they were going to see if I can raise the deck up on. I don't think I can, so I'm going to get to work on these items. We'll see what has to come home with me. Alright, so from that big stop today, there's a couple things that came home with me. It's this Husqvarna Z254 mower. Hasn't run for a while, and they had taken the carb off. I sprayed some carb spray in it, was able to get it to turn over and hit on a couple of fire a little bit, so that was good. So we've got that going on, and so they just want me to get this one back going again. Looks like it needs a little bit of help with some anti-scalp wheels and leveling the deck. We'll get to this one in just a second. And then the other one here is this John's Red. Is basically a Husqvarna AYP product, and the auto choke is acting up on it for some reason, so I got to figure that out. I have a blown up Honda that has an auto choke on it, so hopefully, like, if I've got to use that auto choke system to get this repaired, then it's really not that big of a deal. So that's the 2 things after that stop. Now we'll move on to the next stop next, which is what do? We serviced a John Deere LX 255 and had to change the oil in a tiller, and that's about it on that stop, which I won't be able to show y'all because I had to go down to the backyard way in the back and take care of it. But the next stop after this is going to be this. Alright guys, we're moving along this afternoon. I don't know what I've shown on video or whatever, but I do have a 0 turn on the back that I'm going to be fixing. There's also that push mower. I was able to get running, but then they ended up using it, and something's going on with the auto choke on it, so I swung back by and brought it back, or I'm going to bring it back with me just to see if I can get it better. But I did get the blower fixed. Spark plug and carb clean seem to have gotten it running a little bit better. I think there's a little bit of water in the gas, so I told him just run the tank of gas out, see if it gets any better, and if we need to revisit it, we can do that. So we've got that, all that going on. Went and serviced a John Deere LX 255 and a what was it? Oh, an old tiller. It wasn't a Mary tiller, but front tine tiller just needed an oil change on it. So we got all that done. Next stop is actually a free John Deere L110 we're going to put on the trailer and take back home with us, and then we'll see what else we have to do that I can fit into the day, because it's already 4 o'clock. Started at 8 o'clock this morning, and the others are just drop-offs and pickups. One of them is swapping a tire out, which won't take long at all. And then the last stop is a service. We might postpone that until later in the week because they're actually on vacation. But we'll see what we end up getting done today. It's been a pretty good day so far. As y'all seen some of it, I haven't filmed a lot of it though, just because of time and just trying to get things done. Just to give you an idea, it stays busy when you're on the road like this for sure. So the John Deere here was given to me. I think I've already mentioned that. This is the overall quick overlook of it. It looks to be in okay shape. There's a little bit of rot on the deck down here from where I can see a plate's been installed. It started and ran briefly, but after that it flooded out. So I'm going to throw a carb on it, probably service it, clean it up, and get it out of here. I'd love to get this thing out of here. After I clean it up, it's maybe a $400 mower, maybe a $450 mower to the right person. Would love to do a little bit of rust repair and stuff on it too. Maybe make it look a little bit nicer and may get $500 for it. We'll see. But overall condition, it's, you know, very crusty. Been used pretty good. The hood's a little broke on it, but it should clean up pretty nicely. I'll do a full-length video on this just to see what we get ourselves into. Hopefully I could get this thing turned around this week and get it out of here. I need to get some mowers fixed and sold, which would be ideal. So yeah, it's a little bit busy, that's for sure, right now. Alright, so that previous clip I showed you is the mower. It almost ran and drove onto the trailer. I think the carb has given out in it, so we'll probably have to put a carb on it. Looks like the fuel pump has just been replaced on it, and it's going to be a cheap mower for somebody. I see it looked like there was a little bit of rotted area in the deck, but hey, it's going to be a cheap $350, $400 mower for somebody. They'll probably cut their grass for a good little while. It's in good shape. It's got around 200 and some hours on it. So we are now, I had to delay one of my stops because of the people not being home. Dropping off a Manus tiller that I've had. It's actually the people that I got that huge load of rear engine riders from a while back in August, that I did a video on. And we're just fixing this, so they have a nice little tiller to till their yard with. So we're going to drop that off real quick, and then if daylight permits, I have either 2 or 3 more stops to do after this. We'll see what we can end up getting ourselves into. 2 of them are very small, and then the third one is a potential service, but it is close to 5 p.m. already. So we've got a little bit of time before, or we don't have too much more time before it gets dark, and I'd like to get home at some point today. So let's keep on cruising. Alright, I dropped that tiller off. Stayed and talked to them for a little bit. It's about 5:40 now. I'm gonna go pick up a tiller that's going to be given to me. It's a Craftsman front tine tiller. It's got one of them knockoff engines on it. Guy had a stroke a little over a year ago, and no longer is gardening, so it's just, he just said, if you want it, you can have it, come get it. I'm like, okay. In this previous stop, I was given also an air compressor and a pressure washer. They're both electric. They've both been sitting outside, so it's kind of like I'm going to plug them in, and if they don't do anything, then unfortunately they're probably just going to get scrapped. But still going to give them a chance. You never know. And then after this, my goal is to, if I still have time, I'm going to go change out a tire, and then look at the Husqvarna zero turn. If I need to service it, that may end up happening. Well, I can at least stop by and look at it because I'm literally going to drive right by it on the way home. See what it may need. Maybe come out another day and finish that up because we are running out of time today. Done pretty decent today so far. Again, this is the Tuesday after I came back from a week away, so this is going at it. Not this. I mean, my days out usually aren't this long. I usually just do an 8 to 5. A lot of times out. It's almost 6. And I've still got 3 places left to go. So we'll chase the sun on the day today and see what we can do. But won't be too long, and I'll let y'all know. I'll give y'all a look at this tiller next after I get it home, and then we'll continue with the journey today. And so after I dropped off the Manus tiller, they gave me a couple of items, actually. Probably not going to be worth anything just because of they've been sitting outside for a really long time. I'd be surprised if these actually turn on and work. I mean, the wires are really bad, but air compressor, and then on the back of the truck here, an electric John Deere pressure washer, which I didn't even know they made. Both of which I'm not even sure I'll be able to save. It's kind of one of those I'll plug it in and make sure they work and see what happens after that. One other thing to note, I have 2 Poland weed eaters in here. They are from the same stop that I got the Husqvarna zero turn and the Johnza Red. One of them needs a head, the other one just needs a tune-up, so we'll get those knocked out as well. A mess in the back of the truck right now, but it was literally just throwing stuff in there just to get it out of the way. Literally, y'all saw I had to use, or y'all will see that I had to use every single minute of daylight yesterday. Still got all the junk in the truck from last night because I got home really late. But I was also given this Sony subwoofer and this, what would that be, the actual amplifier. Just need to find some speakers. I'd love to get me a good stereo setup in the garage, maybe with some in-ceiling speakers and things along those lines. Just because I do like listening to music while I work when I'm not recording videos, and this right here would provide a decent setup for that. Here's the Craftsman tiller that was given to me. Fairly nice overall. I think I got to put a carb on it because the carb bowl is leaking. I thought I had fixed that for him, but it did still seep a little bit of gas even after I fixed it. No big deal though. So it got one of them 208cc engines on it, them knockoff engines, almost like a knockoff Honda GX engine on it. So we'll get this fixed. This will probably bring low 200s in terms of sale price, and he also has a John Deere D110 that I sold him a while back that is having issues with the exhaust bolts. So I'm going to get him a couple of exhaust bolts and an exhaust gasket and get that all situated for him. So yeah, so that's good. And another freebie. So the trailer's loaded up with freebies here in addition to a couple of customer repairs. All right. Head to the last stop of the day. It's 7 o'clock. We got about an hour of daylight left, which if I service this machine is gonna take me into the dark. Like I said, this is a little bit of a longer day, a little bit of a atypical day doing this, but it's a catch-up day, so I've got to catch up on mobile work. And good news is what I'll do is this saves me another day of having to go out if I can get it all done today. So we'll see what needs to be done with this Husqvarna zero turn. I will be able to film this when the folks that are here aren't at home. And I don't really like to film with people present on their property, so I'm just mindful of that. But we're gonna hit up this last zero turn for the day. We'll see what it needs. Probably gonna at least service it for right now. do what needs to be done, like service-wise, and if we need to do additional parts, because I don't really have all the parts that I would need in the parts arsenal to like for belts and things along those lines. I don't know about blades. Depends on what style of Husqvarna this machine is. But we'll see what we end up needing to do. Hopefully tonight, at the very least, we'll get it serviced and get it. Have an idea of what I may do on my next go around. I do this round about once a week because I live in Oxford, North Carolina. A lot of my clientele, because of where my family lives, is in Durham, which is about a 30 to 35 minute drive for me. So I do my best to just combine all of these trips into one day so that I can do the rest of the work that I have at home, which right now isn't too terribly much, but it will be more now that I've got all this stuff on the trailer here. A lot of 2-cycle carb swaps and a couple of other things. We got to get that Husqvarna zero turn going. I got a Toro zero turn at home that has a locked up engine from rust weld that I need to take care of, and a couple other small things really. So nothing crazy, but the job that I just finished, because I didn't mention that in the beginning, was swapping out a tire on a John Deere LA 100. This is an older couple at my church, and I serviced their mower last year. The tires were pretty dry rot. I put a tube in it, and that tube ended up failing, and so I just brought them a good tire and put it on there for them, and just to make it easy for them. So we're not playing the tube game. The tires that were on it were kind of ready to be replaced anyways. I was just trying to get a little bit of life out of them without with the tubes on them. So it didn't work. Or it worked for a little while. It worked for about half a season, but y'all know those tubes sometimes have an issue with popping. And that one, actually, the valve stem ended up pushing itself back inside it. So tire swap it was. Going to the last stop here for the day, and then I'm heading to the house after that, catching things up. So let's see what this Husqvarna has in store for us when we get there. Alright, last stop of the day. We're running out of daylight, so I got to get going here on this service, but pretty much looks like it just needs an oil change, from what I can tell, and fuel filter's on the wrong way, so we might have to fix. No, it's not. Silly me. I saw the arrow and thought the tank was right, or the carb was this way, but it was not. What else? So air filter looks good. Oil filter. Sharpen the blades on it. The belt has come off. I don't know why. I haven't seen. The deck actually looks relatively clean. There is this stick here that may have contributed to it. The belt does have a little bit of wear on it, but nothing insane for a 5/8 belt. I've got it back on all the pulleys here, and so I'm just going to try and pull it back tight here onto the pulley for the PTO, and change the oil in it, and hopefully this will get them back up and running. I don't really see any other issues with it besides that, so I will maybe run it for a few minutes after I change the oil and stuff, just to make sure it doesn't jump back off again. I may suggest that I put a new deck belt on it. It's only got 60 some hours on it though, so it's really not that bad. Just looks like that deck belt had a little bit of an issue with it. So oil change, blade sharp. I'm going to get that deck belt back on, and we'll see if that fixes everything here. Well, it's dark, and it's time to go home. Actually, poor guy that I did the service for, guy's out on a cruise. While they were gone, somebody shot his dog. And so while I was here, there was a guy that came and ended up burying the dog for him. Man, big thing, just unfortunate things happen when you're on vacation sometimes, don't they? But either way, I got the belt back on. I'm gonna tell him, I'm gonna buy a belt for him, and we're gonna put a deck belt on it. It does run and cut. I think that stick that I showed you in the previous clip ended up being the problem there, and so we're gonna. the belt still needs to be replaced, so we're going to put a belt on it regardless. And then but everything else is good on it. I sharpened the blades, changed the oil. The blades have probably got a year, another season left on them, so that's good. Had to improvise a little bit on getting the blades situated on that, just because of the deck being so low. Usually I can lift them 0 turns up by the actual deck and get them high enough, but I had to use some concrete, kind of an area of concrete that was way higher than the ground in order to get that sorted out. So we're all done for the day. It's 8:23. We've been out for over 12 hours today doing all this stuff, and it's just the way that it is sometimes, guys. Usually I don't go this long on a day. I like to be home by about 6, but really needed to get all these mobile stuff done in one day so that I can work the rest of the week basically at home or just around town. So that's pretty much a wrap on the day. Tomorrow morning I'll show you just a final look of what is on the trailer, what may need to be done with it, and just a wrap of everything. I really hope y'all enjoyed this video, just to kind of show you. I can't show y'all all of the repairs and all that stuff, but just an idea of everything that I can do in a given day in mobile repair. And it can be from the smallest things to the biggest things. Today it was a bunch of small things. I've done a transmission swap in the field before on a Craftsman, so it just kind of depends on the day, how much time I've got, and all that stuff. And today I literally used every single minute of daylight that I had. So let's head on home, and I'll rejoin y'all tomorrow when it is daylight again and show you this full trailer and full truck bed worth of stuff that is either given to me or needs to be fixed. So we'll catch you in the morning. Alright guys, so it is the next day here, and we're going to wrap this video up now. So what all we did, 10 stops in all. Y'all can follow on that journey with me. I'm not going to go over every single one of them that I did, because I honestly can't remember them all right now. I don't want to be fumbling around, but what we have to do, we have this to fix. This was free, that needs a carburetor. Auto choke. This is free, needs a carb or a carb gasket. Probably trash, but we'll plug it in to make sure. Same thing with the John Deere. Probably trash. Ryobi weed eater, probably a carb kit. One of these Poland weed eaters, new head, another Poland weed eater, tune up, potentially a new carb kit, and I don't think I've got anything inside the truck. But we serviced 3 machines yesterday, did some pickups, swapped the tire out on a John Deere, just did a bunch of repairs, excuse me. And then, just as a very quick synopsis of what's come in, golf cart gonna need to be looked at. The guy who does the golf carts, he found this one for relatively cheap. Don't think it's going to take too much to get back going again. I do need to go get a battery and stuff for it. That'll probably happen later in the week. Y'all have seen this one here, John Deere L120. It's got 400 and some change hours on it now. 458, so it's had about 100 hours put on it since I sold it to these guys a couple years ago. They've kept it up fairly decent. What happened to it is this mower's been holding up really well, actually. The return, or the tension spring for the deck, decided to go on it, break on it, so it needs to be replaced. This here has no power when you turn the key, so I think it's a bad safety. This is an LA140 that just came in. And then to round everything off with the garden tractors, John Deere garden tractors, this is an LA130 John Deere. Runs on 1 cylinder, and probably going to rob the spring off of it to get that 120 back going again for them. over at the orphanage who ended up buying this from me. They use this, and I think they got a big Z9 something 0 turn John Deere that they use to do their maintenance on the property that they have out there. So a few other things. We got a couple other small things coming in as well. Looks like it's about to rain on me, so I'm gonna have to get going. But McCullough generator, carb clean. This, he said something with the bar and the chain. I haven't. The bar is a little bit compromised right here, but the chain was getting too tight because he was tightening it up too much. I got it at a good medium, so that's good. 2 Manus tillers here, both just need carb kits. This Pole and Pro pole saw needs a carb kit, and then there's a few other things once we get into the garage here, which I'll go ahead and do here for y'all, just to give you an idea of what may be coming up on the channel. Trying to sell this lot of 2-cycle equipment off for one price. That needs a carb, and it's really hard to shift. Would like to get that one out soon. This is the one that's kind of been hanging over my head, though. This is a Toro. It's got the Kohler engine on it, but it's frozen up. I got to pull the heads and everything off of it. I've got the gaskets. That's what's going to be my project for today. Got to put a starter on it as well. Alright guys, that's the end of this day in the life video, so to speak. Hope you all enjoyed it. We had a lot of places to go. I think it was over 100 miles yesterday that we drove to different places to do different things. We did pretty good overall in terms of making money. Of course, these right here will bring decent money in as well, so it'll work well. We got some projects to do. I gotta get after it though, because if I don't, I will be drowning in repairs. So I'm gonna go ahead and take care of all of that, and I'm gonna have everything hopefully ready to rock and roll here for these people here pretty soon. Today's Wednesday now. I did that on a Tuesday. I kind of like doing the mobile stuff earlier in the week, so it's not hanging over my head most of the week. What I'm doing, I'm trying my best to do this, is keep the weekends free as much as possible. I will do small things like drop-offs and pickups, and maybe just very, very minor stuff on like a Saturday or Sunday, but overall I'm trying to keep those days protected to do things around the house and just make things look better around here, and enjoy doing stuff with my wife. So that was the whole goal for me doing this full-time, is to have more flexibility. So that's what we have. Just came back from vacation, trying to catch up with all of that as well. That's why I had a long day yesterday. But today, tomorrow, and Friday should be in mostly at the house. Got to do a couple of local things today. Shouldn't take me too long to do. Got to replace a PTO switch somewhere, and or just literally just up the street. And then I got to check out a chainsaw, and then I have a couple of riders to pick up just less than 10 minutes down the road. So I'll probably end up doing that on Friday, those riders, if the lady is available. But yeah, so we got a lot going on. I just wanted to let y'all in on what a day in the life for me looked like on the road, which I usually do about 1 day a week, maybe 2 days a week, depending on the demand that is required for what is going on. So thanks again for watching this video. This is a vlog. I know a couple of y'all are interested in this. I wanted to give y'all a little bit of a different video outside of a repair video when it came to doing this. So thanks again, y'all. Hope y'all enjoyed it. We're going to get on these repairs that y'all will see hopefully coming up on the channel in the coming weeks, and we will see what all we can get cranked out of here. It's just me, so it's whatever I can do myself. So thanks again for watching. Take care, and I'll catch y'all on the next video.